Others go favor you. Great men go honor you. Amen. Amen. One day you go sign the check. Oh, you self go drive that Benz. Oh, this life go still make sense. Oh, amen. Your children go make you proud. Oh, bad people no go pull you down. No, one day you go run this town. Oh, amen. Amen. You self go spray me money. Baby go call you honey. You self go host the party. Amen. Amen. Dangote go be your friend. Otedola go be your friend. Adenuga go be your guy. Amen. Amen. Elubelu go be your
Does my photo look weird?
Samad go be my guy. Rabbi, you go be my guy. Amen. Amen. Your life no go end in shame. Your business go bring you gain. If you believe it, say amen. 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 Amen.
Anayepasifa na utukufu, aliyevikwa na utakatifu, ndiye Mungu wetu, amejaa na ukarimu, tena yeye ni tabibu, ndiye Mungu wetu, mwenye fadhili na rehema, baraka na neema, ndiye Mungu wetu, chemi ya wema, mlinzi wangu mwema, asifiwe, asifiwe,
Hello. Ni aje mama? Nimeona umetry kunicall. Ukinicall nilikuwa studio. Anyway, ukiwasha simu si unicall tupige ile story. Yeah.
Sedo.
Fungulia TV uone vijana wako wakifanya mambo ndani ya mitambo mama. Sauti tamu kwenye radio, nimefika hapa juu ya maombi yako. Hata kama sijafika niendako, I know I'm on my way. Napenda ukitabasama, I hope I make you even prouder. Na uzidishiwe afya uone nikivuka boda. As I get older, lean on my shoulder. Umenifunza mengi, I remember when you told me don't you let nobody ever change who you are. Keep running hata nikianguka. Straight out of heaven malaika. Upendo wako haujawahi badilika. You say take your time while you always in a hurry. Be a star, let it shine, tell your story. You're a 10 over 10, you should know that. Hawanioni vile unavyoniona mama. I'm gonna conquer the world with my guitar. Na bado, na bado. Mama, najua siku moja nitakuwa star. Na bado, na bado. I will be your star. I will be your star.
Tuko dauko ready, life si fair already. Tukikompare kwenda uni au kwa millionaire na dread, utajiambia hii moja ikui. Passion haitaipesi, uache ball utaikuwa Messi. Hata ujitolea iwezi, so niambie ni kasi madream world ingeonaje mapenzi. Na unapimaje wazimu, kujua dream yangu ni crazy. Just needed someone to believe in me. I'm living to be more than just another boring eulogy. Na siwezi toka bila kuacha jina. You'll remember me, my name will live forever. May our memories together be as nice as sunny weather days. Like your energy, I'm grateful and I'm proud of me. Siamini nacha legacy mama. Ile meli nenda ni kama ndivyo ilifaa kwenda na kasi, hivyo basi meli ingezama. Ile meli nenda ni kama ndivyo ilifaa kwenda na kasi, hivyo basi meli ingezama.
I'm gonna conquer the world with my guitar. Na bado, na bado. Mama, najua siku moja nitakuwa star. Na bado, na bado. I will be your star. I will be your star. Najua siku moja nitakuwa star. Na bado, na bado. I will be your star.
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope, it's the voice of peace, it's the voice of every man. From a distance, we distance, you look like my friend. Even though we are at war, from a distance, I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting is for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through.
Good afternoon, everyone from wherever you're joining us from. Welcome to Pacemaker International, launch of the 2021-2023 strategic plan. Thank you so much for joining us. We are joined by quite a number of people, but before we go for quite a while, we will start with a word of prayer from our head of operations and strategy, Mrs. Doris Kyogora. Doris?
Thank you, Ruben. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for your goodness. Thank you for your love upon our lives. Thank you for this great afternoon that you've given unto us, Lord Almighty. We thank you for the far that you've taken us. We thank you for the far that you've taken our organization, Lord. We thank you for all the young people that have supported the work that we do, and for the achievements that you've allowed us to get so far. We thank you for this event this afternoon. We pray that you will go ahead of us, that you will give us a great time of celebration and even of looking ahead. And just also that you continue to expand and bless our community, the community that you've allowed us to build this far. We thank you for the plans ahead of us. We pray for your favor and your guidance and your wisdom, even as we hope to achieve them. We pray that you will go ahead of us and make all the paths straight for us. We thank you for your goodness, and we trust in you for each and every step that we take in this journey, all for your glory of your holy name. Thank you for everyone attending. May you give us a great event. In Jesus' name we pray and believe. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Doris Kyogora. Again, we say thank you so much for joining us from wherever you're joining us from. Feel free to put in the inbox or rather in the chat where you're joining us from, where you're watching us from. You can also follow this live on Facebook. We are joined by quite a number of people, and at this time I would welcome the Executive Director of Pacemaker International, Dr. Paul Muturi, to just say hi to us and lead us forward. Karibu sana Daktari.
Thank you very much indeed, Bwana MC, and good morning to those on the west side like Kathy and my friend Stephanie. Good afternoon to those of us in this region, and good evening and good night to those in the Far East. It's really a joy to have all of you with us today as we celebrate this momentous occasion. To us, it is a celebration because we know many other strategies that are created, but for us, it takes partners to be able to do this. Allow me to mention that this is a purely virtual meeting, but it's being streamed live on all our platforms, and I hope you are okay with that. Secondly, allow me to just give some ground rules for purposes of decency in the meeting. Number one, please keep your system muted at all times, unless, of course, you are speaking like I am doing at the moment. Secondly, if there is an issue, please capture it in the chat box, and our friends led by one Brian Masheria will respond or escalate as the case may be required. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's important that we keep time Serve is really an honor. So we are honored that you could get time to be with us. This is a two-phase meeting. First, we will look at our old SP, the outgoing SP. So we run a video. We'll have some interviews with partners, with fellows, and of course, with the alumni. And then, of course, our founder will also speak in regard to our history. Then we cross over to the new, where we shall look at the new SP. Our consultant is in the house. She will hand over the SP officially to the chairman of the board. And then the chairman of the board will go ahead and launch the SP. It's 2 hours, packed short, and we look forward to enjoying ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's now my distinct honor to invite the very pragmatic. If you are around her energy, you cannot fail to feel the change of aura. She serves this board as the vice chair. She comes to us to introduce the board members here present and also the consultant. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Caroline Kadhuru. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. It's so exciting to be here this afternoon. We have been waiting for this day. We've been on a countdown. We have been looking forward. We've been wondering when the hour is coming, and here we are. And just as everybody has said, this is such a big celebration. We are in celebratory mood because this is PACE. And here we are, and we're looking at the past, we're looking at the present, we're looking at the future. We are just on the brink of great and absolutely fabulous things. And all of you here at this time, all 67 of us, we are just at the cusp of making history because this particular strategy is going to transform nations. So let me take the absolute pleasure in introducing the leadership at PACE. I will start with our esteemed chair, Mr. Patrick Wamel. Patrick, where are you? Is your video on? Patrick, where are you? To see you as we introduce you. This is the captain of the ship. This is the captain of the ship. Are you there? Are you in the house? Are you there around? Are you around?
Sorry, Mrs. Caroline, there seems to be some echo from your end. Caroline,
there's an echo from my end. What do I need to do about it? There's an echo from my end. What do I need to do about it?
Let's just check if all the machines are off. Keep all the machines off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you mute all your microphones if you're not speaking, except all your microphones if you're not speaking. Of course, Madam Caroline Kadhuru. Let's all mute kindly. Caroline, you can go on.
I can go on. Has the echo gone away?
Yes.
You know that echo allows me to repeat all the things I wanted to say. Imagine being able to speak twice and say all the things twice. It's such an exciting afternoon, this 24th of, please take note of the date. It's 24th of August at exactly 3:08 p.m. East African time. And history is being made as we launch this strategy, as we launch out and do what we need to do for young people, for the education sector, not only in this nation, but in this region. And because whatever Kenya does, the world takes note. It's actually for this globe. Because the things that we are putting in place in this strategy are things that will be able to be prototyped and scaled across the region. So allow me to introduce our chair. I don't know whether he's there. Even if he's not there, we shall introduce him anyway. He's the chair of the board, Mr. Patrick Wamel. I have foolscaps upon foolscaps, as you can see of his bio right here. He's a great man, a man of substance. He runs a coaching program, an academy, a financial academy, and he's been doing this for the last 25 years. So we are sitting at the feet of this elder. And you know, in Africa, we honor elders. I don't know why in other places people get afraid of growing old. In Africa, we honor elders. People want to be an elder so that when you walk, people pave the way for you. And so we have an elder in the house, Mr. Wameo, and we drink from his wisdom as he leads us in the board and he gives us wise counsel. He's been doing this for a long time. He's a banker, he's in financial services sector. Now he's in the coaching space and passing on the baton to the next generation. So that's our chair. He will say hi to us as and when he shows up in this meeting. As Dr. Moturi said, I am the vice chair. I don't even know what to introduce myself as. I just don't know. I'm just an excited and passionate member of the PACE family. And I do a lot of strategy work, communication, and all of these things. And we are just in the boat together and enjoying ourselves as we steer this ship. Now let me introduce you to Peggy Mativo. Peggy, is your video on? Where are you, Peggy? Could somebody spotlight Peggy as well so that she's on the spot? Oh, there you are. Good people, take a look at this formidable woman. I tell you, you need to know people. You need to know people. So if you don't know Peggy Mativo, know her today. She's the founder of PACE. We are running on her vision. It is such a powerful vision. The vision is carrying on. Even as she has stepped away from being in direct operational and executive control of the organization, you can just see how well we are doing. And the success of an organization rests on the founder, and the founder being able to hand over the baton and having people carry on the vision. And so, Peggy, we honor you for your leadership. We honor you for being here, and we honor you for taking this great vision and handing it over to us to run with and to deliver and to have strategies like this and strategy sessions just like this. So here is Peggy. She is so dedicated to having Africa's children rise. And when Africa's children rise, imagine what that means for Africa and for the world. And so she founded PACE years ago. I think in 2014 was it. And we have been just doing great things together and rising from time to time. She's been honored in many global awards, local awards. And we just, if I started to tell you about Peggy, would need the entire strategy session to get through that. So Peggy, we honor you, we celebrate you, and we really, really are happy to have you with us on the board and being able to run together in that way. So that's Peggy. Oh, there is Mr. Wameo. Mr. Wameo, sir, I have introduced you now. You just have to wave at the people and salimia the people and say hi. Please unmute and say hello to the people, Mr. Wameo. We want to hear your elder's voice.
I'm actually unmuted. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Sorry, I had a tech issue, but I'm now in the house.
Yes,
thank you, Karen. Continue.
Yes, Karibu sana. Not tech could not keep you away from this meeting. Peggy, please say hello so that we may hear your beautiful voice. Say hello to the people.
All right. Hello, everyone. Yeah. We shall talk more later.
Yes,
but yes, lovely to be here with all of you.
Right, feel very welcome, The next board member that I'd love to introduce is Kitawa. Kitawa, are you here? Are you in the house? Tech team, could you spotlight Kitawa for us as I introduce her? Now, let me tell you people about Kitawa. Have you met a lady who is passionate about raising young people to greatness? Peggy is the founder, what's her name? Kitawa is the founder of Mama Ventures. This is an incubator, a hub, a business advisory vehicle that allows for young people and young businesses and founders and startups to be able to just raise their businesses, run them well, be strategic about them, succeed, and being able to plug into capacity building in that way. And so she's an impact builder, she's a venture capitalist builder, and she helps businesses grow from early stage to success. And so she's one of the founder members of PACE. She's been with PACE since it started. She's helped over 150 businesses just rise to where they are. And so Kitawa, we really love for her to be on the board, and she continues to help us analyze our thoughts, harness our thoughts, steer our thoughts. She's the secretary of the board, and so we are so organized. If you see how organized we are, it is because Kitawa organizes us. So I don't know if you're in the house, Kitawa, and you can say hi to people. If not, you shall say hi to people a little later, but that's Kitawa, and she is our board secretary. Yes. Are you taking note of how we are so many women in this place? Aren't you excited about that? Isn't PACE very inclusive? I mean, just look at that, and let me introduce you to yet another lady. Now, you know it's very important to have a lawyer as your friend. If you don't have a lawyer as your friend, please get one. Get one. Now, PACE has a lawyer in the board, an advocate, a legal mind, somebody who helps us cross our T's, dot our I's, ensure that we are compliant, ensure that we are running well, we are running properly, we are doing things in the right way, because if we don't do things in the right way, then how can we stand up as PACE to be counted? And so let me this afternoon, with joy in my heart, introduce you to Wanja. Wanja, are you in the house? Wanja, where are you? Oh, there's
Yes,
Wanja. Yay!
Lovely to be here.
Yes, that's Wanja. Wanja is a partner at MWA and Company Advocates, and she's a trained lawyer. She's an advocate. She's just, she's great. She's great. She asks us hard questions. You know, you always need that person who will ask you hard questions. She asks us hard questions to ensure that we are straight. We do what we need to do. We have wisdom and we have discernment. She's worked all around Africa, latest in Southern Sudan, ensuring that banking and tech works well in that area. So Wanja, karibu sana. It's a pleasure to have you here this afternoon. You'll hear a little bit more from her later. And so, good people, that's the board of PACE. That's the board of PACE. Only one man and lots of women. Now, just take a look at that. It excites me to death. And I want to introduce, Dr. Muturi is an ex-official member of the board, because he is the executive director. So he's like the CEO, and so he's also a member of the board, ex-official, but a member of the board. And so our executive director is Dr. Paul Muturi. He comes to us with a lot of experience working with growing communities, ensuring that communities are able to do things for themselves sustainably, being able to scale programs across communities, both locally and globally. He's our ED, and since he joined us, we have seen significant change. He's very passionate about growing the next generation. And so even the team at PACE is so blessed to have him on board, because they say a teacher came to them. A teacher, we have been working with teachers, they said, Carol, we've been working with teachers, but a teacher came to us. And so Paul is very passionate about succession planning and ensuring all those that he leads are able to lead, because leaders grow other leaders. So that's the board, dear ones. It's just Kitawa not on the screen, and we shall then introduce her and she will say hi. There is Kitawa. How nice, how nice, how nice. My excitement is growing by the hour. Kitawa, could you kindly just say hi to everybody that they may hear your beautiful voice? I've promised them that you do beautiful things and they want to see this for themselves. Kitawa?
Hi, Caroline and everyone else. I'm really glad to be here today. Sorry, it's a work day, so it's a bit of a hurry on my end, just trying to balance both. But I'm really, really excited that we're finally getting to do this as PACE, and and getting to learn a little bit more about what we do, and being able to share this amazing event together.
All right, there we go. So that's Kitawa for you. Tech team, please clear the screen, because the person I need to introduce next requires the entire screen unto herself. So please remove the spotlight from all these people. And let me introduce you, all 94 of you on this call. Can you imagine we are 94 people on this call? Isn't that just amazing? So now I want to introduce you to the midwife. The midwife. The midwife. Do you know the importance of a midwife? A midwife encourages, a midwife checks on the progress of the baby. The midwife births the baby and ensures that the passage of this baby is smooth sailing. The midwife checks whether everything is going okay. And after the birth of the baby, the midwife presents the baby and says, here you go. I want to introduce each and every one of you to the midwife of this beautiful, beautiful strategy that we are launching this afternoon. Our strategy consultant who has walked with us, worked with us, journeyed with us, cried with us, laughed with us, and midwife this beautiful, beautiful document. That's not just a document, it's an action plan in action. Chilande Kuloba Warira. There we go. Take a look at Chilande. Thank you for all your great works. The first time I met this lady, she breezed into the room with a smile and the whole room lit up. And it has continued to light up, and we're really glad to partner with you. She is extremely passionate about supporting African-based organizations. She has over 18 years experience in working in sub-Saharan Africa, building processes, strategies, systems, work instructions, and ensuring that things go well. You know, it is said, Chilande, that Africans don't plan. I want to attest this afternoon that you are epitomization of debunking that myth, because we do plan and we are capable of making great plans and executing them. So there is Chilande, dear ones. She's the managing director of Warande Advisory Center. Chilande, please say a word or two. I know you will have your time to speak, but say hi to people.
Caroline, this is already a very emotive day for me. I'm bursting with so much in here and your energy is not helping me. I'm like, calm down, calm down. It's such a proud moment. I am more than honored to be here. And I thank you so much for including me on this day. It's the first time I've been called a midwife. My mom, who is a retired nurse, will be very happy to hear that. So I almost did what she wanted me to do. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thank you, Chilande. For sure, we are in self-detonate mode. Even if you're feeling excitement from here to heavens, we are all together in the excitement that is today. Karibu sana, and thank you for walking us through this journey. And so there ends my duty. I think I have had the best duty in this entire program, to introduce the leadership at Pace. And so that is who we are. And I take this opportunity to welcome you, to wish you well. And let's have the next few moments together as we celebrate what is the beginning of only absolutely great things to come. Over to you, Ruben. I give you back the podium.
Thank you so much, Caroline, for such great energy. You know, I'll try very hard not to lower it. That was quite good, you know. Caroline is a storyteller, all you guys out there. All right, so let's take a journey down the memory lane. How has it been for Pacemaker International? And at this time, I want to welcome Mr. Brian Masharia. Mr. Brian Masharia is the Assistant Manager Programs based in Nairobi, to give us a few clips. Brian?
Pacemaker International was founded by Peggy Mativo Ochola in 2013. She had the vision to provide quality education for children in underserved communities. The Pacemaker International model takes the underutilized local youths, trains them before deploying them as volunteers in the local underserved schools as teaching assistants. In the outgoing strategic plan, we grew in leaps and bounds, impacting 20,000 learners across 69 schools in 2 regions of Kenya. We engage 250 youths annually, cumulatively 1,200 already in our alumni, and engaging 2,000 parents annually across the informal settlements of Kenya. We are grateful to our over 10 partners that have supported us over the years. Together we have achieved great milestones, but the work isn't done yet. Pacemaker International, quality education for all children in underserved communities and youth-led change in Kenya.
Thank you so much for that. I think it's been a journey, quite a journey, and from what you can hear from the clip, it's not yet done. We are not yet there. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to take us through, or rather invite someone who's going to take us through the next session. We are talking about, the theme for this event is actually soaring the heights through collaboration. We are really passionate about SDG 17, partnerships and collaboration. And so we recognize the fact that we are not going to be able to achieve all this alone as Pacemaker International. And so we are joined by a number of partners. And I want to welcome Ms. Kitawa Wemo to take us through that session as we get to interact with the rest of our partners. Karibu sana, Ms. Kitawa.
Thank you so much, Ruben, for leading that interlude. And as I said, I think Chilande said, that we're hoping to maintain the energy that Caroline presented at the beginning. So hopefully we'll be able to maintain that. So again, my name is Kitawa Wemo. I'm the board secretary for Pacemaker International. And as we are all aware that the theme for this particular strategic plan launch is Soaring Heights through Collaboration, I think one of the things that has me personally as a board member very passionate about PACE is just to see how young people are able to come together and work together, as long as they're working towards a common goal that is beneficial for everyone around them. I think one of the most interesting stories for myself is my parents are both teachers. I have had my own fair share of experience being an untrained teacher in a rural school. So I understand the kind of work that we do at PACE, and seeing how we've evolved is really important. So for today's session, where we have our partners, of course, I'd love to introduce the entire panel, but I'd like just to share that this is for us to thank all our partners, that we cannot do the work that we do without having partnerships with our investors, partnerships with development agencies, with schools and the fellows themselves, and also the wider team at PACE that does the work that they do with so much passion and agility. So without further ado, I will introduce each of the panel members, starting with Dr. Kathy Bartlett, who is the co-director of GRGEF. There she is, so lovely. I know it's very early in the morning for you, Kathy. So we are really, really glad that you are able to join us this afternoon in Nairobi, and this morning for you. I know Kathy has worked in the field of international education and development for over 30 years. That's almost as long as I've existed as a human being. So I think she comes with a wealth of information and knowledge on this area. So I will let her introduce herself. I would love to hear your voice. I don't want to take away from your introduction.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Really great to see so many people joining this important panel and call. I've been a fan of Pacemaker since I met Peggy many years ago, I think in about 2015 or 16, in fact. So I look forward to being part of the panel. I currently work with Girl Rising and lead their global education Girl Rising Fund, but I'm particularly interested. I started out as a teacher, and I've always been interested in what quality of learning means for people in real contexts. And I really love working with young organizations and see them grow and develop. And that's where PACE is.
Thank you, Kathy. Really, really glad to have you here again. Yeah, and sorry guys, you might not be able to see me. I think there's something with my security settings, and for some reason my camera hasn't come on. So I will log off at some point at the end of the panel discussion, and hopefully you can see my face. Then we're also joined by Lucy Maina, who's the Director of Programs at Grassroots Nest for Innovation and Change. These are one of our newest funders, and it's a local NGO by Wangoi Nyaga. And one of the interesting things is, as a board, one of the things that we've talked about is, are we able to unlock local funding? This has been one of the challenges that we had at the beginning. How are we able to blend international funding with local funding? And for this reason, we're really glad to have GRIC as part of our funding and supporters for PACE. So Lucy, I'd love to hear your voice.
Right, thank you so much. And my name is Lucy Maina. I work for Grassroots Nest for Innovations and Change. That's what she calls GRIC. We call it Greek. Not the language, but the organization. That's like the short form. So very happy and excited to be here, and with many faces of people that I know and people who've done great work in the education field. I've been there for many years, having worked in the region, Somalia, Kenya, South Sudan, Uganda, and now working with Wangoi and others who've been working in the field for many years with Grassroots Nest. I'm a teacher by training, not worked much as a teacher myself, but yes, I've been doing education programming, doing a lot of research work in education, and yeah, very excited. And PACE is one of our very good partners, so very excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. And then we also have Mr. James Kigo. I think I've had the privilege of going to Mathare Primary as one of the visits I've done as a board member. And Mr. Kigo has been able to supervise our teacher assistants and the 10 teachers posted in the school. And I think Mathare Primary has been one of the oldest schools in our network. The work that's being done there is absolutely heartwarming. So really love to hear from you, Mr. James Kigo from Mathare Primary. Sorry, we are not able to hear you at the moment.
Sorry, he's having technical issues. If you can kindly go to Innocent Gabriel.
Okay, great. So finally, we have Innocent Gabriel, who's a head teacher at Blessed Emmaus. I hope I said the name right. One of the Upbet schools in Kisumu. And at the moment, these are one of the newest schools to join the PACE network. Very sharply dressed. I love what you have on your shirt. That's amazing, on your suit. Mr. Gabriel, over to you.
Thank you so much. You'll excuse me for my background. I'm still at school right now. I just want to begin by greeting you all. And I never knew it was such a big meeting. And I am blessed, like the name of my school, Emmaus Blessed. So thank you so much. This time, I think I've said my name is Innocent Gabriel, head teacher at Emmaus Blessed School. I have enjoyed and loved working with the PACE International, and I'm here ready to partake of this short meeting that we are having right now. And I'm also ready to give my observation, my take, and some of the few challenges, the successes of PACE International that I've witnessed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel. And just as Peggy says in the chat, that it's such a blessing and wonderful to hear the children's voices in the background. It only speaks for the work that we do at PACE and the work that you do, which is so meaningful. And So I will jump right in into this conversation that we're having, and starting with Dr. Kathy. When thinking about the many years, 2016, when you met Peggy and heard of PACE, and PACE is growing. Looking back, how does that make you feel, and why PACE for you?
Well, first of all, I need to say, watching the journey that PACE has been making over the last, well, if I met Peggy in 2015, that's 6-7 years that I've known her and known of the work of PACE, and it's been really exciting. I love staying in touch with PACE, even though it's a different kind of relationship at this point. When I met Peggy, I was the executive director of Global Education Fund prior to our merger with Girl Rising. And Global Education Fund was piloting an innovative social venture fund, to describe it in those terms. And our idea was that I had been in development for a long time, and I had seen increasingly that there were still really great innovators in education on the ground across the world. And yet it was very hard often, as with their new ideas, to get recognition, to get funding, that early seed funding for the work. And so I convinced my board that that's where we needed to focus. We needed to find dynamic, visionary leaders who were doing good work or had, a clear idea of where they wanted to go if they were very, very young. And we needed to give them multi-year funding, small grants that were not going to overwhelm them, and that we needed to be seen as what I refer to as a critical friend, somebody that really engages and with the leadership and the team, who listens, who gives feedback when it's appropriate, who doesn't when it's not appropriate. And so Peggy was introduced to us through another funder who, unfortunately, their foundation was going to be wrapping up. They were completely changing their strategy. So the funding Peggy thought she had in her second or third year was disappearing. And anyway, the colleague at the other foundation said, you need to meet Peggy. And so Peggy and I talked over Skype. I hear feedback.
I hear feedback. I was able to mute whichever device that is.
Okay. How is this then?
Better. Sorry about that.
Okay. So in any case, I met Peggy, and what I had heard was definitely the case, that she was incredibly bright, had a great vision, was very passionate, and was just starting out. And so she was one of the first grants that we gave under this new fund. And over the course of 4 years, we supported them, which meant I got to visit and see the work on the ground, meet the team. And what I continue to see, and what I see still to this day, is a team led by terrific people who are passionate, who are open, who receive feedback, and also know when to say, no, I don't agree with your idea, Kathy. I like that. I like it when people say, no, we understand the ground, this is where we're going. And we would have wonderful conversations as they were evolving their program approach. The other thing I want to say is, from the start, I mean, it was clear that this was really a great idea. It was an idea that was going to benefit children in primary school, and it was an idea that was going to be a huge benefit for youth. And in the first 2 years, when I would visit and keep speaking with Peggy, looking at their reports as they came in, I became convinced that the alumni were really going to be moving PACE and taking off in directions none of us could even imagine. And that's what they've done. I look at what the alumni have continued to do, and I am just thrilled. It's like a scattering of vibrant seeds across Kenya of youth who now have learned about giving back, who have an idea about how to continue their education, who understand what leadership is, who understand what challenges are and how to engage with others. And I think the program around the alumni has really been strengthened and really grown. And this is why I love this work with young NGOs, is watching the evolution and the maturity over time. And so it's a real honor for me to have been able to stay in touch. So I hope that addresses at least some of what you asked. And I'm happy to answer any other questions.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's really inspirational to actually hear this coming from someone who has been an external, party, and actually seeing part of the conversations that we hear from our fellows is the same that you're reiterating in this conversation. So it really shows us the synergy in the idea of PACE, of doing voluntary work and giving back, especially when we're able to nurture this from one of the formative and, when people are still young and passionate, then we are able to actually spread more seeds of youth who are just ambassadors for amazing work. So it's really inspirational to hear that echo through your voice and being able to see that growth and transition over the years. So I'll get back to you with a different question, but thank you for those thoughts. And of course, then I'll jump on to Lucy. And what really drove GRIC to invest in underserved communities that PACE is involved in? Just what was it that made you say, aha, this is why, this is it, this is PACE, and this is why we want to be here?
Thank you. Thank you. And I think we had several meetings with PACE representatives, and what was amazing is that the vision, PACE's vision, is about providing quality education for all children in underserved communities and youth-led change in Kenya, while GRIC also seeks to support and strengthen grassroots organizations to work with their communities and parents, and then the youth in playing a critical role in supporting children to go to school, to learn, grow, acquire skills and knowledge. And so when we looked at this, our objectives were well aligned. So working together with PACE has been great, since we have similar focus. When we look at the youth, we look at parental engagement, working with the children in school and out of school, and also looking at the farthest behind. So we both seek to ensure quality education for both the youth and the children. And so here we had the meeting of the minds. And so that for us was an absolute yes. Again, when we looked at both of us have been working with marginalized communities in one way or another. And so we both ensure equity for all and just making sure that the farthest behind and the last mile is covered. So we understand the inequalities that exist within the system, where you find that some of the children, like in the informal settlements, end up in these schools which are not well supported. And so we felt the burden to support that. And so we seek to support these communities. And we see we saw PACE as a key player in this as we looked for partners and people who would work with us. And then just the fact that, I mean, when we looked at and listened to PACE, there's a lot of great collaboration within at different levels just for them. When we looked at how they collaborate with school leaders, with the youth, with the parents at grassroots levels, with us also, and also looking at other levels where we were able to, we met PACE also in Raleigh, which is the regional education learning initiative that is set up by Adona that has been supporting Greek also. And so when we ended up in the same thematic group, and pleased to say that PACE actually leads the group, and we've been doing very many things together. So just being with PACE and just seeing what they're doing there, we've been able to do like teaching at the right level activities, which basically support quality of those the children who are left behind or lagging, and also looking at doing like things like murals for schools. So there's been great work that we knew about, and the good collaboration by PACE was one of the great issues. And then the other amazing bit was just looking at the great resource that they were to us and to others. And just going back to what Kathy was talking about, PACE has invaluable wealth and experience in supporting youth leadership programs. And we've been working with them now. We have the second cohort who we are training with them. And we are benefiting from that experience. So it's a two-way traffic. Much as we are sort of having them as sub-grantees, they're also able to come back and benefit the whole Greek family through their fantastic model on the youth. And so we are also co-beneficiaries of this, where the other youth and partners are being trained. And so it's from their vast experience and knowledge that we thought maybe bringing them on board would also be a great idea. And now, if you allow me, just moving on to having now worked with PACE for a while. As a partner, we've seen professionalism, they're action-oriented, the timeliness in terms of implementation and reporting, planning, evidence-based reports. We are really proud of the work that PACE has been doing, and is done with a lot of passion. And we are so happy for the partnership and collaboration. There's value for money in what we do, so we get a lot of great results with minimal costs. And just to be able to achieve our own objectives and PACE's objectives, we've seen a lot of harnessing of synergies of both organizations to ensure that a renewed momentum in the youth work. And just to speak about one of the visits I had with PACE, the PACE leadership to their programs. First, I saw a lot of commitment. I saw a lot of great work, which is heartwarming. It was interesting. I was able to visit Mathare Primary, who are on board this today and will be speaking to us. And it was amazing, just telling us the journey that they had taken with Mathare, and I'm a witness to that. It's really great. And so when we visited, we found the youth are actually supporting the teachers. We also found that the youth are doing some grandiose things. For example, they were helping Mathare to set up a library. They had fundraised for books, and they were furnishing the rooms. I mean, for me, that was amazing. And then we also saw that the youth they train. So this now shows the quality of the training, that those who volunteer are able to go out there, maybe finish their education and come back. And again, they come back, and for someone to come back, it means they saw something good and the experience was great. So being part of an earlier cohort and being able to return for another year, for me, I thought that was great. You wouldn't go back to something you didn't like. And then we just shared with the teachers. And I remember this teacher from Kiboro Primary who shared the way that PACE had prepared him for the journey, for being in the field. He was well equipped. He felt really able to do his work, and he had been able to support the learners, the administration, and this was really heartwarming for me. So just being able to visit those schools, the transformational stories from the youth, for me, those were those are some of the things that still make me feel very connected to the work that PACE is doing. Finally, I just would want to say that we have the same target groups working with the urban poor. We both feel the need to really bring them to the table, empower them to advocate and support for quality education. So we recognize the vital role that PACE has been playing in this space, and we hope that we can continue supporting them to do the great work they've already done. So that's a summary of what I would say, but given a chance, I would sort of say a lot about what I've learned and what my experience has been with PACE and why them and continue with them. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, Lucy, thank you so much for your thoughts and for your sentiments. I think just summarizing some of the things that you've mentioned, you know, I think the work that PACE does is very transformational, and the world that we're in right now, you walk into boardrooms and everyone says, you know, what's in it for me? This is something that I don't really hear much of in PACE, with the fellows, with the funders, with the teachers. We kind of see very transformational conversations and transformative ideologies around what's in it for the kids. You know, can we do what's right for the children that we serve and the schools that we serve, and for those who need the kind of work that we do. So it's really, really amazing to see how involved and how you feel engaged to this wider narrative for the work that we do at PACE towards quality education, towards bridging that gap and giving equal opportunities to children across Kenya and, of course, across the continent as we continue growing. So Mr. Gabriel, I know you're one of the schools that are, you know, have joined the network recently. Now we have 69 schools as part of the PACE network. I think I joined as a board member, we were just under 20. So really seeing these growth has been amazing. And so we're really, really glad that you were one of the pioneers of Kisumu, where I grew up. Actually, that is pretty much my village. So really glad to see you here. So when you look at, as a head teacher of your school, how has the work that PACE does in your school, how has it impacted the schools, the children, the teachers? I'd really love to hear your experience from one of the beneficiaries of the PACE work.
Thank you so much, Madam. First of all, I'm glad that PACE is in the race to rescue this generation, because one, when Mr. Ruben approached me in our school, that is way back 2019, we were so much glad and welcomed the first cohort, the first fellows who were brought to our school. And our journey with PACE began then. And at the end of their term, we really appreciated, and it was like, oh, and they now going for good. And then I just came to realize later that it was a continuous process, and that was very, very great. Number one, PACE has impacted a lot for our school as a Mass-blessed school. We're just situated in Bunga slum, and we have quite a population. Our school is not that much developed. That is why it is UPBET. Some of us here may be questioning themselves, where does what about UPBET? What's UPBET? UPBET actually stands for Alternative Provision of Education and Training. So the government, having realized that public schools are full and private schools, the so-called private schools, are very expensive, too expensive to parents or those and guardians in slum areas. Most of the children in the slum, we find that they just live with guardians, because some we even get from the street, and then we find somewhere for them to live. So they can't afford the fee in the nearby private schools. and even the public schools around there are very full because of the population surge in the slums. So when PACE came, it has really impacted a lot because we have that population around us, and sometimes we are forced even to try to sometimes it forces us to try to just make some use of some places like churches to accommodate some of the children who may not be having classes. So when PACE fellas came, first of all, I just want to appreciate because they eased the work. The workload was too high, and I want to bring this one clear that the administration had some relief because employing teachers, trained teachers, and they expect to be paid at the right time, and they expect to be treated as professionals. And you depend on the children who come from slums. Some come from families where the parents are drunkard. So it was too tough even for my directors to pay the teachers. And we had this problem of teachers leaving even after one term, a teacher has left. 2 terms, a teacher who goes to be for long, just even for one year, and then they leave. So when PACE came, the first team we had three fellows, first fellows, and they really helped us. So the work that was too much that made the directors even employ more teachers was reduced because these first fellows, when they came, you understand they help us in work like writings, monitoring children. So it made the work easier so that the directors had no that much struggle and straining to find for more teachers. And we realized that some of them come and changes their mind. They say, oh, they come and enjoy the life of being a teacher. You see, there's this narrative outside there that, oh, being a teacher is the last thing I can do. And you find people even in class, if you ask the learners that, in future, what would you like to be? Then most of them will tell you doctors, engineers. Nobody can tell you I want to become a teacher. But now, when they come and have the experience and we go through with them and they enjoy being with the children, you understand the children are also getting encouraged when they see some young youths also coming in to help them, to teach them. They get to understand them well. And so even the first fellows change their mind. So I may be going with many points, but my point is PACE, for example, has really done a lot to both the fellows and the learners and the administration at large. And number 2, PACE fellows or the PACE International itself has really changed the performance of the children because you find that the fellows come with new ideas. Like in our school, there's this writing club in every Friday at the assembly. The children are encouraged to read. They read like newspapers, they write report news and read to other learners. And this has made them to be courageous and to realize their potentiality, to realize their talents and what they can do best. They have formed many clubs in the school, like health club, language club, whereby they monitor, they encourage the children to speak in English, and they give them gift at the end of the week. So generally, I know there's no time is short, but I have a lot to say. It has really changed the school environment. Learners are coming because the report outside there is that there are young teachers who are also helping the learners. When the parents came last time, I informed them about PACE, and the parents, the community around, the guardians now, they are happy because there are some narratives going outside that, they have brought some students who just finished their Form 4, but I made it clear to them, and now it is known that they are trained and they are helping us just on some matters. So I just want to thank you so much, because PACE, as I've said, has done a lot, both in school and even outside, both in academics and curriculum activities, like going for games. You find they play with the children, and when a child sees that a teacher is playing with them, then they get encouraged. So I beg to end there, and I appreciate so much and would like to move on with this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gabriel. I think it's very inspirational coming from a teacher and hearing how the children are really benefiting from this work, and that you've been able to actually let people know that, you know, they're actually trained. And that has been one of the worries that we have when we are deploying the PACE work. How can we make communities know that this is actually a good, not replacement, but a good addition to what a teacher would do, and in support for students. So that's amazing. I do see Mr. Kigo, and we are out of time, but I'd love to hear your voice, Mr. Kigo. Just to, yeah, how has it been? And thank you for being one of our oldest supporters. Even when the government was trying to kick PACE out of the schools, you were one of the schools that, you know, kept us there. So perhaps we can hear your voice, and perhaps you can share some remarks for us. Sorry, are you able to unmute?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. You can lower your screen so we can see your face.
And you can hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm so excited, although I was a little bit frustrated. And I want to say I'm so happy to be this meeting at last. One, a giraffe has a tall neck with a very good reason. That is why even when the government wanted you to go, we could see the ends very far, and PACE will go far. Mathari Primary School has been actually the greatest consumer of the energy that you have put. I want to believe so. Because of the alumni you have been sending to us, the students, the interns, in terms of us consuming, we are so grateful. I think forever in my life, I'll be grateful, because what you have done in Mathari is something whoever will come even in the future will be able to see. One, you brought us computers which were never in existence in that school. You gave us 10 computers. And I think I can attest, because some of you came and you saw them. Most of our students now, particularly in upper classes, are able to interact with these computers. This is a big excitement, by the way. Children in Mathari did not know about computers. Now they know about it. And that is what I feel is a great achievement for PACE. I also wish to thank you most sincerely, the committee interns. Your interns, actually, I would say, is a top notch. It's excellent, because you bring on board people who are committed. And I think these are going to be the future leaders of the organization, because it is going to be wide and it's going to be global. And when it goes global, you need these people. They have the energy, and actually they have the human resource by themselves, because themselves are the resource. In terms of our school, we have seen good learning outcomes. One, the improvement has been gradual. In 2019, the candidates who wrote the KCP in 2019, that is in 2020 now, they improved by 5%. And that is a great, great, great achievement. And I want to assure this team, this meeting today, that I'm sure that the candidates who are there, we are working day and night because we have the resources. One of the greatest of all, a library. We are going to make it now more than 10% improvement. And this, I would attest and say that it is because of PACE. You guys, you have sent us very good interns, and Ruben can attest to that. He was a pioneer. And we are happy. The students and your interns normally interact very well. You bring people who are actually for the less fortunate, because unfortunately we deal with less fortunate in terms of almost everything economically. They are so down and so low. You must have that spirit of giving and the spirit of surrender for you to be able to be with them. I thank God He has sustained us. And I also thank God for an organization like you. Since when you came to Madari, me, I would say I have seen your hand, I have seen your effort, and they keep on improving day in, day out. Now, there is also the issue of, I would say now, finally, our children are really excited. There is learning the TR language that the teachers normally teach them in the evening. They have now a room. Imagine we have a library, which was a dream. It is no longer a dream. It is real. And the PACE management actually and the boards can attest to that. You brought us people who are outgoing. And I like also encouraging young people, because I love young people. And when I see one who is very strong like Clarence, I feel I should not let him go down without doing anything. These guys, the team that was led by Clarence, actually did what others were not able to reach, but even all the other groups that have come, they have done a mark. They have done an indelible mark that is going to be not erasable at Madari. So kindly, sorry for talking for too long.
No.
I was talking because, I was away for some time. So maybe I will talk later. Thank you so much.
My goodness, thank you, Mr. Kigo. And no need to apologize, because what you're saying is really, really deep and very meaningful for us to hear today. So thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but I'd really like to go around and thank Dr. Kathy, Lucy, Mr. James Kigo, and Mr. Innocent Gabriel for really gracing this particular panel discussion and this strategic plan launch. Just as we round up, I think one of the, I was writing the notes that, being able to give back and see that you're working together to achieve a greater goal is great. And I think as a board, one of the things that we love thinking about is how can PACE be able to serve a 360-degree angle for the community, to support governments in making decisions. And part of the biggest questions around policy comes to the conversation that we're having about being in schools. When your work speaks for what you do, then it's very easy to receive that government support, which clearly we receive from the schools that we support at PACE, and continue to grow those numbers. So being able to see that we are working together towards transformational change and continue growing, even as we have an entirely new executive director, then being able to see that that energy is maintained only means that we're doing something that works for everyone. So I will just close by perhaps asking Kathy to just give us your closing remarks on, as we launch this strategic plan, what is your message to PACE?
So well, thank you, first of all, for inviting me. It really has been an honor, and it's been very interesting to hear all the panelists to date. I think going forward, my few words of wisdom are that keep growing your network of supporters, be they principals in schools, be they funders, be they other leaders in the community, like those on your board. So grow those networks of supporters and think about different kinds of support, not just financial, but other kinds of support you might need as you continue to grow and expand. And I think my second point would be really stay true to your vision, but don't also let that restrain you from making changes, to evolve, to make adjustments as you move along and as you see what the impacts are on the ground. So continue to learn, continue to adjust, continue to dream big. I think I'm confident we will see more growth, more expansion in PACE. And I think being able to communicate your stories, because there are many stories within PACE, will be, something to continue to do. And I think my final thing is, PACE has always had some really great staff members. And I think one of the important things is, as an organization grows, is do the staff also grow? Do they have opportunities for professional development? When do you need to bring in new kinds of skills and capacities? But keep enabling, keep nurturing your team, because they really are the heart and the beating of PACE. They're the ones who are in contact with the youth. And, I will say that, I will keep my eye on the youth, and I hope we hear more and more stories coming out of what they continue to do in their lives and how PACE helped to spark that. So I think I'll stop there, but good luck.
Thank you so much, so much. And I think those are definitely great words to close this panel discussion with. And for our fellows and our partners on the call to actually pick up from, and the team in general, we really, really are glad to have you pioneering and marshalling on to do this meaningful work. Thank you, everyone. Of course, I have to log off and sort out my video as well, but thank you for gracing this. And over to you, Ruben.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, Kitawa. Thank you so much for that kind of discussion. And of course, thanks to our panelists. We are also joined by a number of our current fellows. I can see they are so lively. They have their videos on. So whenever you see movements on their cameras and all that, just know we are a full house here. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, so many things have been said. Stay true to your vision, continue dreaming big. And somebody must have dreamt for us to be here. Somebody, wanted to stay true to their vision, and somebody wanted to walk this journey. It is important for us to also get to listen how the journey was. Allow me to introduce the Executive Director, Dr. Paul Muturi, who will in turn introduce our founder. Karibu, Dr.
Thank you very much, Ruben. It's unfortunate time has gone, and I might not have the privilege to say a lot as I would have wanted regarding the person I'm about to introduce. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2013, one lady, very young at the time, dreamt. And she did not just dream, she went on to plant a seed. And today we are here launching the strategic plan out of that vision of one person. I call her Mahatma, not Mahatma Gandhi the way we know him, but Mahatma meaning a revered and loved person. I bring to us the founder, Pacemaker International, Mrs. Peggy Mativo Ochola. Peggy.
All right, thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you to the board and all the speakers before. Thank you to our executive director and to everyone on this call. It's such a pleasure and honor and joy to be here with you and to be part of this journey. We keep using the phrase journey, journey, journey. We're using this metaphor of farmers and planting seeds, and that's what really PACE is. PACE is a journey that started as a dream and has grown and will continue. And personally, I'm excited about the day my grandchildren will be part of this story. Yes, the pace of their day might look different, might make a different type of difference, but they will be part of this network of awesome, amazing, powerful young Kenyans who are here to make a difference. So thank you all from the very bottom of my heart for being part of this journey. When we started in 2013, PACE was just a dream on a sheet of paper. I remember writing it and printing a few copies and also sending a few on Facebook, you know, DMing my friends and saying, do you think this would work? And I shared this part of the story, specifically targeting the young people who are on this call. Because, you know, when you share your dream the very first time, you'll get all sorts of reactions. You'll get the people who will say, yes, this will work. You'll get the people who say, are you sure? And then you'll get the people who say, this will definitely not work. So when I sent those messages out, you know, I got the similar set of reactions. And my 23-year-old self decided to do something. I decided to work with the people who were willing to start the journey with me. We did not know where we were going. Yes, there was a vision and a big idea, but we needed people who had the faith to take the first step. So maybe a lesson I pick from that early part is start with the people who want to go on this journey with you. And as you build evidence, you'll get more people joining you on this journey, but do not be afraid to start. Just start, even if you're one person, just start. I remember, you know, the first training, all the logistics, we to schools, we ask people to apply. Everyone who goes through PACE applies because, you know, we are all about making sure we're sending quality fellows to our schools and we're doing quality assurance and we're doing all this quality training. So we've done all that work. But during the first day of PACE, this was January 4th. And I just remember sitting and, you know, we're ready for the fellows, but you start wondering, will anyone actually come? You know, who will come? Who will be part of this journey? Yes, it's real that we're here, but who will come? And I remember the first fellow who walked in. Her name was Eniki. She came, she was the first, and then 23 other young people joined. And, you know, we started the journey officially, and we started with just 4 schools. We started small. In this room, with this, came together and believed on just this one dream. And, you know, we said, okay, we don't have fancy papers, we don't have, you know, fancy plans, we're a bunch of young people. But the thing that I have learned and has remained consistently through since then is that young people are powerful. When you bring them together, when you discuss a vision, when you can ignite the fire and the passion, young people can do things that will amaze and astound you. So when we sit and write reports, when we sit and make videos, I mean, all those things are just evidence, and even sometimes just a small picture of what the young people are doing, a small just mirror of the power that they hold. But we believe as PACE that young people have even more potential. And we are all about igniting that potential. What I've learned, this is not about documents. PACE is not about, you know, just the background work. PACE is really a space where we come together because we want to ignite the ambitions of young people. PACE is a space where we come together because we want to tell all the valley that no dream is too big for you to dream. Primary school, you are in this, no dream is too big for you to dream. PACE is about the passion that, you know, we work together with, the passion to collaborate, to work through differences and to make sure that the scale of what is possible changes. PACE is about working with our different partners to really expand what is possible within our communities. So for me, I'm excited to be part of this journey. The previous strategic plan, the previous work we've done, you know, there's so many stories and the teachers have shared, our different partners have shared, whether it's libraries being built, computer labs, you know, or whether it's small conversations that actually make a difference. For me, the parts of PACE that make my heart beat are when you hear a story of a fellow and, you know, they tell you how they've had a heart to heart, a young person has asked them a question and then they've gone political choice life about, you know, the attitude they'll come to school with, how they'll face the problems they're facing at home. For me, it's what moves me about PACE. And it's these conversations that actually happen in schools every single day. It's this one-on-one impact that makes a difference. So I'm excited to continue this journey with all of you. But as we start this new strategic plan, you know, PACE is also expanding. We started with a vision that really focused on children and young people. And now we're saying the whole host of communities. How do we we believe that through all these changes, through all of us collaborating at the grassroots level, we can actually make a lasting difference within our communities. We can make a lasting change within our communities. So PACE has expanded. PACE is not just an individual journey. PACE is not just a group journey. PACE is a community journey. And it's not just a community in Kenya. It's not a community just in Nairobi or Kisumu. PACE is actually a global community. So we have fellows even in the US making a difference. We have fellows who've gone, come back. We have fellows locally making a difference. And we have partners across the globe who are making a difference. I believe the future is bright. I'm excited because my children and grandchildren, as I mentioned, will be part of this journey. And, you know, that we will continue to make a difference. So I'll conclude by just saying that, you know, we are in this together. We're in this journey together. And we're going to work together with each and every one of you to make sure PACE is able to soar to even greater heights. And we bring all our children and all our fellows with us. So thank you for being part of this journey. And I'll hand over.
Thank you so much, Peggy. That is our vision bearer. You know, this is the time I wish we could do drum rolls and all that, or just, you know, all those things that are, yes. You can do it digitally, of course. Thank you so much, Peggy. What you can take away, we are in this together. And that is assuring. You know, it comes with a sense of hope. Ladies and gentlemen, the true heroes of this entire thing are not just the children in school, but also the young people that we work with. We are joined by a number of our young people who've gone through the program, the alumni. We are joined by quite a number of people. So this session is going to be led by our communications officer and expert, Ms. Helen Atieno Owor. Helen, karibu sana, take us through the remaining part of this session.
Thank you, Sana Ruben. Yes, and in this session, of course, we'll be focusing on the youth as the true change makers. And yeah, we value the youth so much because they're the key link between the organization, between PACE and the children in the schools. And you know, we normally say that the youth are the future leaders of this country. They form the largest proportion in our population, and they're the ones we depend on to effect positive change in Kenya. And so in this panel, we have exactly that, yes? We have 5 amazing individuals who sacrificed their time to volunteer as teaching assistants in various schools with the aim of impacting and changing the lives of children by improving the quality of education in the schools. So at this point, allow me to introduce, we'll start with Ms. Phoebe Mugo. She was a 2020, or she is a 2021 PACE Fellow at Xavier King Education Center, which is located in Kibera. And she's currently a student at Daystar University. And then next we'll have Mr. Clarence Muhoro, also a 2021 PACE Fellow at Mathare Primary School. We've had Mathare being mentioned so many times, and it's located in Mathare. And he's currently a student at the United States International University, Africa. The third person we have in our panel today is Ms. Natasha Musyoki. She was a 2018 PACE Fellow at St. Catherine's Primary School located in South B, and she's currently a student at Kenyatta University. Then we also have Mr. Lennox Owino, a 2018 PACE Fellow as well, who was placed at Komarok Primary School in Komarok, and currently a student at the University of Wisconsin, Madison. And then lastly, we have Ms. Stacy Mwangi, a 2018 PACE Fellow, who was placed at Njadaini Primary School in Roysambu, and currently a student at Whitman College. And we're so blessed to have this youth who worked with us throughout this period. And we just want to hear about their experiences in the schools for us to even learn more or even get more encouraged. And for those who've not had the opportunity to hear what PACE Fellows do in schools, they can get that opportunity at this point, yes? So I think I'll start off. Maybe I can start with you, Stacey, for example, and if you can tell us in what ways did your experience as a PACE Fellow transform your life, and what exactly did you love about the PACE Fellowship?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I volunteered with Njavaine Primary School, and I think what I really appreciated from my PACE experience was the mindset shift that happened in my mind as I worked as a volunteer. When we were told that part of the requirements for us to graduate from the program was to initiate a school development program, the first thing in my mind was like, okay, give me money and I can do that. In retrospect, I look back and I think that limiting factor actually pushed us to become innovative and creative. I think there is a place for financial resources, but as a young person, realizing that you can use what is in your environment to solve problems and give other people an opportunity, that is one experience I really treasure and value.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, we can have Lennox.
Yeah, so I can say the most impactful thing to me as a PACE fellow was being straight out of high school, given the ability to work with other people was really helpful. I think Kenyan high schools are not the best place to be collaborative. It's a really competitive ground, but just being straight out of high school and being allowed to work with other people my age on different projects that we were initiating was very, very helpful. I think also the trainings that we had, I think it was bi-weekly, just going through the different topics that we would need as we went through our education in college and also through our careers later on was also very helpful and also very impactful.
Okay, thank you. Natasha, let us hear your voice.
Thank you so much, Helen, and everyone else for joining in. I think for me, I can never forget the first day I stepped into St. Catherine's, the culture shock, the number of children it all spelled out challenge for me. But looking back from the time we got into PACE in January, all the way to when we graduated in August, the strides we made, the great projects we were able to achieve, it was really coupled up by the pre-field training that we got and the bi-weekly trainings, as Lennox has just highlighted, that really helped us to conquer these challenges. And in that sense, that has also poured out to my life right now, where I'm able to know that there's no approaching a challenge without training. So I have the desire to seek knowledge, to seek trainings, to be able to face the different problems that we are able to encounter. So that major skill really has followed me till now.
Amazing, amazing. Clarence, let's hear you now.
So hello. For me, PACE was a very, very wonderful experience. And one way it transformed my life was seeing the power of thinking big. Mr. Kego really encouraged us. When we went to Mathare, thinking of a project, told us of a lady, a 16-year-old girl who had raised 1.4 million for the library. And it really made me see that whatever we had thought of, we need to think bigger. And so thinking big was a really huge part of transforming my life, and also getting to connect with those kids and discovering yourself, having so much joy. I think PACE really transformed me through my experience, and I really, really enjoyed every part of it.
That's really nice. Phoebe?
So hi everyone, my name is Phoebe and I'm very glad to be here. For me, I share a similar story with Natasha. When I got to that school, culture shock hit me hard and I was like, wow, okay. So, but I remember telling Rachel, I think Rachel is on the call, where is this? I was so shocked, but within the first week, I think I adapted. And with adapting, you become part of the family and you make that place your home. I'm so happy I found a home in Xavier King. And when you make that place your home and now you just want to be there every time, and even after your fellowship is done, you find yourself trying to go back there and trying to do more work. I want to personally acknowledge Clarence and his team for starting their library project, because we were motivated to start ours because of them. And I saw them do theirs and I was like, Clarence has done this and their team have done this. And I am very proud to announce that our school is on its final stages of the library. We will be launching it very soon, and I'm very happy to be part of PACE. It has been a great, great journey.
That's nice. Congratulations. And it's clear that this opportunity gives you that, it challenges you to try and do better and be better at whatever you're doing. So at this point, probably I'll start with you, Phoebe. We've done a lot. You've done a lot as PACE fellows in the schools. And so can you tell us some of the part of the transformation you've seen in the children or in the schools as a result of you being there as a PACE fellow?
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
start with you, Phoebe, please.
Thank you for this opportunity once again. So when we went to the school in January, we were 3 of us, myself, Ruben, and Rachel. And the first project we took, we've done 2 projects in the school so far in Xavier King Education Center. It is in Kibera. The first project we did was a farm, and we started it just as a joke. And the skills that the children have gotten, especially considering the CBC curriculum that has just been launched, we were shocked. And you find those children during break time, instead of going to play, they're rushing to check on their skooma, and they're coming and telling you, oh, our farm is doing this. And then there are times that surrounding their chicken, and you find the chicken came and ate the skooma, and they come and tell us, Shakuja, let's go and try and take care of our farm. The chicken are eating our skooma. And it's such an amazing experience. Our farm was able to do well. We are very grateful, and that was one of the projects our school was able to do. The second project is the library project, which is ongoing. And I think I can echo what Clarence said. I never knew I can do big things. And I'm very passionate about volunteering. And so we joined online. This is an online era. And with me doing online studies, I was like, why don't I look for something to do with my time? So when I got to the school, and PACE was my first platform to do volunteer work, and we did the garden, and it was successful. And I saw Clarence do their library. We decided there are not too many projects, and we took a second project of the library, which is currently ongoing. And I am so happy because it is doing so well, and it is attracting donors, and it is attracting big things. We shall be able to share with you guys once it is launched. It is a very beautiful project. And for the impact that has been created with the library, the school did not have books. I think majority of you who have come to the school can attest to that. The library was very empty, and you could see that there's no reading culture in the school. And some of the students really want to read, but they don't have the facilities to read. But currently we have received more than 500 books as to now. And those books, you find children coming and they're telling you, just give me, I will make sure to return, I will not lose it. And you find them, they're now more curious to study. And that is a very big impact that has been created. With TAL sessions, the teaching at the right level, I can say that we successfully conducted one cohort of 30 students who were able to move from the level of beginning. There's a student who is in class 8, but the only thing they can say is they can't spell a word. You tell them to read a word and they're struggling, but when we were able to do our TAL sessions, we could see that students are improving from the beginner, and now they can read a word, now they can read books, and they come and they tell you, oh, Teacher Phoebe, Teacher Rachel, thank you for those sessions. They really helped me to know how to read, and the impact is great. I can say the impact is great. And personally, during the trainings that we've been getting, I can say I've been equipped to even do more outside PACE. We have been able to start an organization, and I am very proud to say that PACE was my foundation of volunteering. I am very, very passionate about volunteering, and it has been my first interaction with volunteering. And after that, I saw, wow, why can't I do even more? And we have started an organization called Teenage Pregnancy Awareness, which is still based in Kibera, because we were mostly there, and we started visiting schools to educate them about periods and menstrual hygiene. And I am very, very proud. I am proud to be part of PACE, and I am very proud of the training that I got here, and the experience and the impact that the students have gotten because of us being placed there. So on behalf of my team at Xavier King and of myself, I am taking this opportunity to thank Pacemaker International for giving us an opportunity to be part of the family, and looking forward to many more interactions with all of you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You can have Stacey go next.
So in my school, we had a similar project, because literacy levels are linked to your success in education in our country, being able to read and write fluently in English and Kiswahili. In my school, we started a Maktaba project, and we had very limited resources. So we were like, how do we start getting books with nothing, with no money? Because I was still in that mentality, until one day when we were seated in a bank account, I saw a man put a newspaper away, and I was like, wait, where do banks send their newspapers after they're done? Every day there are like 6 copies coming in, and apart from the butchery people, some of them usually ends up in the dumping sites. So we approached a local bank, and we asked them, we want to start cultivating a reading culture in my school. We do not have the resources yet. We're trying to use what we can get. Would you be willing to give us some of your newspapers? And he was like, yeah, I will even give you transport. So we came back with the newspapers, and we started Maktaba project. What one of the students told me one day was like, President Kibaki used to be the president. And I was really shocked. And then what we realized was, with the newspapers, apart from the reading that they did, they would also get information about general issues and global issues going on, and national issues. Later on, Adona came in, and they gave books. And because volunteers were there to sort out the books and to conduct the library lessons, they came back and they donated more books. So in the end, we ended up having an actual library, a mobile library, from the newspaper project that we started with. And it was really encouraging to see the impact of how reading can change the ability of a student to enjoy and engage in other lessons. And that is something I'm really grateful for PACE for.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe now for Lennox, maybe I can ask you to tell us what more have you been able to do after, let's say, the PACE Fellowship to try and impact more children in under-resourced schools out there?
Yeah, I can say the biggest thing that I've done after PACE in regards to assisting children in under-resourced schools was this project that I actually did in the last couple of months, and in collaboration with PES as well. So this was a project titled the Portable Library Box. In my school, we have this program called the Wisconsin Idea Fellowship, and basically the school funds programs or projects started by students who want to go back to their home countries and assist people in their home countries. So in this particular project, assisted by my school, we're working with PACE to establish portable libraries in several under-resourced schools in Nairobi, and we were able to get metal boxes and able to purchase approximately over 1,000 books, in which they were to be placed in these boxes, and these boxes were to be used in a couple of schools. And basically in these boxes, you have these boxes being rotated among different schools that have shortages of literacy materials, and also among different classes in these schools that have shortage in literacy materials. So this is one of the projects, or one of the things that I did after PACE to sort of like continue assisting children in schools that are in need. So yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. Natasha?
For me, looking back at one of the projects we did at PACE was a financial literacy program that we dubbed Chaching in partnership with Junior Achievement and Prudential Africa. So having carried that in 5 schools during my tenure, and even going back for the class of 2019 to train the next fellows to carry through the program in the schools, has been a highlight for me in giving back to the society. We have seen 2 years carrying successfully the project, and over 500 students getting financial literacy at such a young age. We believe that was a seed planted as early as age 10 to 12. So by the time they'll be growing up, they'll still remember the lessons that they got from PACE, Junior Achievement, and Prudential Africa.
That's nice. Thank you. And then maybe now, Clarence, maybe you can tell us one key lesson you've learned from your experience as a PACE fellow.
One key lesson I learned is the power of believing in the kids, because my partner, she was Hilda. A student came to her from class 7, and she was called Purity. And Purity was very poor in English. And so they became like best friends. Like the student loves the teacher loves the student. And at the end of the term, just one term, she was the highest in English. And it showed me the power of believing in someone feeling special. And even lastly, with Tal now teaching at the right level for the kids who didn't know how to study. We said a club, and we call it the People's Club. And so they felt very special that they are the ones who had been chosen to join the club. And so they felt unique, and we would not only rehearse words and stories, but we would tell them to write their dreams, to read. We tell them so many things, plant a tree and take care of it. Just by believing in them, 60% improved. And so even Judith, our coordinator, was very surprised, but it just showed me the power of believing in someone and telling them they matter, they are brilliant, their dreams, they should go for their dreams. And so the power of encouragement and believing in someone, I saw it really work through the kids, making them happier. That translated into better performance, enjoying school more. And so that's really one key lesson I learned from FACE. And maybe for everyone, it would be wonderful for you to encourage someone each and every time, because it adds to them, it adds to their life. And when someone is more encouraged and happier, their business can grow, your productivity can increase, your ideas can flow. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. I think now I'll call upon Stacy. If you were given a chance to give encouragement to other fellows or other youth out there, what's the one thing you could tell them?
I think I would really encourage everybody to know that we are able to make a difference in the communities and in the spaces that we live in. The little that we can do can go a long way, and that we should never feel discouraged or limited by anything. And to the PACE fellows who are here, I would really encourage you to take advantage of the training that we are getting at PACE, because basically there's usually a connection between what you're being trained at and what you're doing on the ground. And that's such an important thing, like when you're able to see how your knowledge is useful. That would be what I would encourage and tell anyone.
Thank you. I would really love to say thank you to Phoebe, Clarence, Natasha, Lennox, and Stacy. Yeah, we've had great things, and these are just some of the stories, not everything. Yeah? There's still more stories out there. And it's amazing to see the passion that young people have to create change out there. And let's keep at it. Let's keep the fire burning. We continue changing lives out there. Thank you. I think I'll now hand it over back to Ruben, kindly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you so much. And of course, Lennox, Stacy, Clarence, Natasha, and Miss Phoebe. And of course, Helen, as I've said, Helen is the person who makes us look like we know what we are doing here. Of course, just to assure you guys that we are going to end this in time. So at this time, I want to invite once again, Mrs. Caroline Gaduru, the board vice chair, to handle the launch part as we proceed. Karibu sana. All right, I'm not sure. All right, I'm not sure if she is still here with us, but then we will have to, I'll have to invite the executive director, Dr. Paul, to step in for her.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Of course, there's no way we would have done this, jumping those beautiful stories from the people on the ground. Everyone who has been involved, asanteni sana. At this point, this is what is remaining. We have our consultant, who at some point was to be a nurse, but has midwifed here, so at least the profession isn't lost. She worked with us tirelessly. She will now come and tell us what the journey was like, and then hand over the strategic plan to the chairman. The chairman is in the house. The chairman will receive it and officially launch it, and with that, we'll invite the treasurer to make vote of thanks. So we are almost there. I know online needs a lot of patience, needs a lot of us being gentle with ourselves to be able to sustain the momentum, but please be there. It's another few minutes and we'll be done. So it's now my distinct honor to invite the one and only Chilande Kuloba Waria. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I don't know how I'm going after all of that. I mean, I even totally threw away all my bullets and decided to just enjoy listening to everything that's being said. It almost feels wrong for me to go after all of that. But, you know, thank you very much. I am very aware of the time, so I'll try and check my passion and my love for everything PACE into something a little bit more concise. Pacemaker International is one of those that I don't consider. I know you know, people call me consultant, which implies that you're my client, but you know, I don't think that's what it is. It has been, the journey has been long, and it didn't just start with a transformation, a transactional relationship of developing something. I think it has been quite a winding path that has gotten us to this beautiful place. Before I start off with just trying to highlight some of the things that I can point out about the journey, I must call out the team. I want to say thank you. In no order, because I am not very good with protocols, but the staff of Pacemaker International. You know, every time we started a meeting, I would force you all to put on your cameras for a bit. But I think it is important that folks see you, see your faces, because this really is your document. If you just put on your faces, just so I see you one last time, well, it's not going to be last, but one last in this formal setup, or else I'll start calling out your names, and you know that's more embarrassing. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you folks. I mean, the stories I could tell about the journey. Thank you for opening up your individual personalities. I know stuff about you. I know the animal lovers that are here, the bird watchers that are here, those who love to cook, and those who just like to eat, right? You must have those who eat. I'm really deeply appreciative of the spiritual folks that I met, those of you who spend a lot of time in your Bible studies, those of you who love to binge watch TV series, and those of you who tried to convert me into joining TikTok. I am still not doing that. You know, those of you who introduced me to the idea of Reels, right? And tried to enlist me into that as well. That's not happening. Those of you who love to meet up with your friends and families, and those of you who just like to chill and have your quiet time. I'm grateful, so grateful for all your cooperation and the warmth that you extended to me for us to get to this point. So asante, I had to say that before we even moved forward, because these truly are your words. I want to also say thank you, even though I'll hand this over formally, but I must point out the board of Pacemaker International folks. They were introduced to you earlier. I do a lot of work with lots of different boards, but I remember in all the touch points we've had, I cannot tell you, and Peggy knows this, I kept reflecting with her, you know, meeting a so-called oversight body that is not just about signing checks, right? And asking, where are we with this, you know? But these people are actually engaged. They were engaged. They were proactive. You know, Wameo knows how many times he would look for me in all channels, including WhatsApp. You know, you are knowledgeable, very important in all your different fields, and you brought all that knowledge to the table. You know, you are most importantly, you folks worked. You worked diligently. You are not just one of those boards that sat back and said, okay, what is happening? And this document is really an embodiment of what it is, of the work that you put together. I want to point out the visionaries of Pacemaker International. We've had a little bit from them. They've been coming touch and go, starting with the current one. Paul, I mean, you came in recently and you dived right in. I keep forgetting that you're new, that you just came in. I must say, I wish you the very best in taking this forward. Pour your wisdom as you take on this mantle from the team. I wish you the very, very best. I must point out this one person who's very quiet, but has challenged me quite a bit along this journey, Doris. Where is Doris? Can you put a spotlight on that lady? Because, you know, she held fort at a very difficult, a very interesting time of transition for Pacemaker International. Doris never let me say I am an introvert. She never allowed me to keep my WhatsApp off. She's one of those that when I tried to put off my WhatsApp, I had to put it back on because Doris needed updates and she needed to know where I am. And it was sometimes structured, sometimes not. But she made me realize that Yes, I must keep my communication channels open. So Doris, you did a fantastic job of just guiding the team through this process. I had to say something. Sorry for putting you on the spot, literally. Now, what do I say about Peggy? Peggy, whom I've journeyed with for now close to what? It's about 3 years now, 4 years? I don't know, it's a while. I feel like we've known each other forever. She is my small sister. I still insist you're my small sister. I cannot express adequately in this short time with a time clock going on me about how I feel about you. For now, I'll just say you're deeply inspiring. Your journey of transforming this organization in its totality, and I won't go into that details because that's a whole other hour, and even weaning yourself off to a space that is a little bit more comfortable for you. You know, and it's a lesson to many other founders out there who struggle with these critical elements that you have actually seamlessly just gone through. It's a huge lesson. I want to one day shout out that journey so that others can also learn beyond, you know, this one space that you're in. You know, I just want to thank you so much for being open to my quirks, right? And sometimes, you know, I look like I know what I'm doing, but half the time you were guiding me quite a bit. I was keeping up with your pace. So thank you, right? Now, to the matter at hand, I had to get that out so that I don't cry. I think this is a very serene moment for us. The process of putting this together was what any person in my shoes considers ideal. We started at the top, of course, with the founder realizing that it is time for her to move on to her next chapter in life, and handed over the task of actually putting forward a vision, you know, the high level stuff. Where do you think we need to go? And she did not do what most founders say, which is, this is what the vision is, now execute. But she allowed this collective group that she had brought together. You saw the energy that came into the room at the get-go. And I think they did it fantastically. The board's involvement in conceptualizing your vision and mission, and crafting the, you know, and then allowing the crafting of the how that vision comes to life, to be, you know, crafting how that should be delegated and then allowing the delegation to happen is something commendable. We appreciate you keeping us on toes about the why of this strategy, why we've been putting this together. That is something that I wish more boards would be doing. So that was a big, I think, a reason why this strategy is looking the way it is. Your input is clearly evident. You know, once the board then transferred the powers onto the staff, I think we went through a very inclusive process. I can only say, you know, summarize it by saying, I feel that everyone's voice matters, and do please correct me if I'm speaking lies. But I think this was one of those very systematic, slow and patient processes where we combined, you know, anonymous perception and insight surveys. You know, we had a few moments where we did, you know, you sent me your thoughts and your ideas secretly, but they were not so secret because we brought them back to the table collectively. We had these fantastic learning events, learning and reflection meetings. There were so many virtually that by the time I was meeting you all physically, it felt like I had been with you all along. You guys definitely guided that process and worked through all of that, crafting the objectives and everything. Then we leveraged the expertise of this board that you brought together, of this diverse, skilled, amazing, passionate people, to sit down and reflect on what Kate mentioned earlier. You know, now that we have a broad roadmap for what it looks like, how are we going to organize ourselves to actually see it through? And I remember Wameo working very diligently with this board committee, thinking about what can the structure look like? What does the policy framework look like to anchor this strategy? At that same time was when, you know, Paul came into the picture and took this and tried to, you know, brought in his external perspective to see, okay, does this actually make sense to the outside? And that was, I think, a very fortunate transition and addition to this process. So we had the benefit of actually having that external eye coming in to help us panel beat and put everything together. Truly, I think I would just say we've managed to come up with a structure and a roadmap for bringing together a balance of skills, imagination, and passion together to actually realize this. So I am super, super grateful for that process. So I just wanted to summarize it real quickly that way, because Paul told me I don't have as much time as I would like. So I'm trying to honor that. And so as I officially work to hand over this strategic plan, I hope it serves as a guidebook for you, for any decision that you make. I hope this becomes one of your most valuable management tool in your toolbox, helping you to consider what are some of the future opportunities that, and whether they are aligned to your values. Most importantly, I hope that they guide all your decisions in terms of whether you advance everything that you make a decision on. Is it advancing you towards your vision? I hope it comes to life in that way. Keep in mind, however, that as you refer to it frequently, please pause and reflect periodically, refocus your timelines and your budgets, keeping in mind that while this is a blueprint for how you're going to move forward, things are changing every day. So flexibility is critical. So don't make it say that, okay, this is not in the, in the strategy, but please do adapt. And I know you are people that adapt. You have the youthful energy that will force you to adapt in a positive way. So therefore, yes, use it as a fluid, ever-evolving document. Economies are changing, priorities shift all the time, but may this plan keep you on track by serving as a constant beacon that honors your past, as we have just heard about, while guiding you towards your very bright future. So, Bwana Chairperson, Mr. Patrick Wameo, it is an honor, a great, great honor. Please receive the Pacemaker International's roadmap for 2021 to 2023. And I thank you very much with those few remarks.
I confirm I have received.
Gone through the wave, the airwaves.
That we will actually use it as intended. I like the words that the Lady Lucy made. They actually speak of pace. A few words, very useful words. Number one was passion, which she did repeat several in different ways. It is in that document you've just given me, in the spirit of the construction. Because I can remember when we met to discuss what the team had done, our work was just 1 day. And they had done like a month of work, and there was plenty of passion in it. I think the other thing that I've seen in PACE is timeliness. Lucy did say it. The kind of age we have in the house thrives on timeliness. The third element was great results. There's no doubt that the young men and women that have spoken of their experiences have shown you that they are producing great results. I really don't have words for that. I rarely cry, but I did. I only used to cry when my mother came to me. I did when I just talked. I think I also need to volunteer a lot more than I'm doing. As much as I think I've been pretending to be too busy, I need to be busy with at least a school every year, more than a day there. And finally, minimal costs. We've had a lot of good stuff, good results. And I like the idea that you operate with minimal costs, just like a private entity would do. Now, here are my words for you. Those ones I got in this meeting. I think I know PACE. I met PACE on paper. I first met Peggy as a young girl, if I may say so. I just quit at 40. She was getting out of school. I met PACE on paper the day she came to present it to me. That was about 2013 early. I'm lucky that I was around PACE without getting actively very involved until they came to where I was. I have seen the people before I joined them again. And there are three things that PACE is, that is what we will be very thankful about. Number one, this is a young organization. It is run by young people to help much younger people. And if we add in passion, as it is, and we put in great results that we're producing with minimal costs, I don't see any reason why anywhere in the world will not support us. I'm particularly very glad that I am part of PACE that I have been. Thank you very much. I think, Paul, mine is to hand over this back to you, only to say that the document is now back in your hand for day-to-day implementation. We meet at the box. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our board chair. I think we have just one more thing to do, or rather two. I'll invite Brian Macharia from Nairobi to just give us, what the future looks like. It's a video. Brian, are you ready? Mr. Brian Macharia.
With you, Pacemaker International, soaring into the future. The old is gone, the new is here. This is the new dawn that comes with good tidings for peacemaking.
Sorry to interrupt, Bwana MC. I suggest that we take the vote of thanks. In the meantime, let's share the link for purposes of those who can go online on YouTube to watch this.
Thank you so much, Dr. That video, or rather those two videos are already on our Facebook page. Sorry for that technical hitch, but you can find them on our Facebook page. You'll get to have an idea of what the future looks like. At this time, I wish to invite the board treasurer, it is Wanja Gatumu, to give us a vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. It is quite a privilege and honor to be able to bring this momentous occasion to a close. I believe I speak for all of us when we say it has truly been an emotional day. And especially when Patrick mentioned that he almost cried, I think that was me a couple of times, just reflecting on the journey, where we have come from, where we're going, and hearing all these wonderful stories from the fellows, from the alumni, and even in the chat box, which was quite interactive. It has been quite the pleasure, and I'm so grateful to all of you, and I'm especially grateful to the board because it is through your guidance and through your strategy that we have been able to get here. You're the people who sit down. We are the people rather that sit down, that craft the strategy, that guide the process, and therefore on behalf of everyone else, I, the board treasurer, would just like to give you thanks for your involvement in it. As Chilanda mentioned, this is quite an involved board. We have sat for many hours trying to produce a document, that will guide the process. And for that, please receive our thanks. We also want to thank the partners abroad and here at home, and the panelists who are here. They gave so many great insights. We do not take that for granted that you are available to join us on this day. We also want to thank the staff of PACE. It is because of you that this strategy will be implemented. It is because of you that things are running. Receive our sincere gratitude. We also want to thank the PACE fellows and the alumni. You're a great resource for PACE. The great work that you're doing. I was also just taken back by the confidence that the alumni had. It was inspiring, to say the least. I think maybe back in my day, people were not that confident at that age. And so I'm so glad to see that you're spearheading this change that we speak of. We talk of youth-led change. And I'm so glad that you're taking on that baton and taking it seriously. We are glad to see what you are and what you're morphing into. So receive our sincere gratitude. I also want to thank the Warande Advisory Center, of course, led by our wonderful Chilande, who is at this point family. Thank you so very much for holding our hand, for guiding us to this successful day. Receive our sincere gratitude as well. And I think just to reflect on a few things that have been said about passion, I think that Mr. Wameo has also echoed this. So many people talked about passion, and it has been seen in all the stories, in everything that we have been told. And Peggy talked about, just start. It was so powerful, just 2 words, just start, and everything just follows from there. So just start. Let's all stay true to the vision. Let's do what we can, ignite each other's ambitions, and just stay true to the process. And just to say this, we are in this together. And I think as we continue, we should just continue to remind ourselves that we are in this together. So thank you very much for your attendance, for being here with us, and may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Of course, we can always, give a round of applause. You can do it digitally also. And of course, thank you for being patient with us this far. Quite a number of technical glitches here and there, but we've managed to pull through on time. And keep following us, keep following this conversation, keep liking our Facebook page, all our social media handles. We are still Pacemaker International. We're here to serve you and serve your children, and of course, serve all the young people. I've been your host, Ruben Siso, Regional Manager, Kisumu. We are now free to disperse at pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye, and thanks.
Thank you all so much.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There comes a time, there are people dying. We heed a certain call, when it's time to lend a hand. Must come together as one. There comes a time, there are people dying. We heed a certain call, when it's time to lend a hand. Come together as one. There comes a time. There are people dying. To a certain goal when it's time to lend a hand. Come together as one. There comes a time. There comes